My name's Thomas, I'm 31, I'm from Belfast. I'm sitting here at 7 years of age. I was kind of like waiting on my mum to arrive. I'm her baby boy, why does she not want to see me? Sort of I left kind of some parts of sort of basically institutional care most of my life, just through to my mother and father, sort of their dependency on alcohol and stuff. Now it's kind of understand that it wasn't their, they done the best they could and they made the choice to put me in, to let somebody else give me opportunities that they maybe couldn't have. So we're learning to forgive and embrace the fact that, she did try her very best. I understand my mum was in her own addiction hell. Living in a hostel was sort of hard, it was difficult, it was a learning curve. It was an education in a very short space of time. Sometimes a good education, sometimes a very hard lessons. It was quite frightening because you have people that are a whole lot older than you and a whole lot more streetwise than you. It was difficult, do you know what I mean? I spent some time in hospital with depression and stuff because basically I didn't have life skills to be living in a hostel with a lot of older people. I learned sort of who to trust and who not to trust in a very short space of time being in a hostel. I spent a bit of time in Dublin, a year and a half in Dublin at a retreat centre doing kind of volunteer work, and then I was away abroad as well, just sort of backpacking and doing bits and pieces, and then I moved to Derry for a number of years. Basically ran away from my grief and whatever you want to call it, like just wanted to go and find who I was as a person, find my fortune, travel a bit. But from the hostel I got my own meat place and I started working for a place called Border Horizons. They send people away on work placement programs to America, Canada and Europe. So I worked for them for a number of years and kind of done really well. I went to conferences and kind of told a bit about my story, and it was a sort of like a sunshine period in my life where it kind of felt good because I was helping young people. I couldn't face up to sort of responsibilities and stuff. I couldn't keep myself grounded enough to stay away from kind of substances. But I realised now I was using it as an escape mechanism. It was a complete escape for me because I was going through periods of kind of having this sort of amazing life and progressing well and helping other people and feeling good about myself. And then I would hit sort of a crisis period, I would call it, in my life, where something come up or something reminded me of something from my past, traumatic experience and such like. I always returned to active addiction because it was my way. It's the only way that I knew to cope with these feelings. It wasn't a sense of, oh, you're a fella, you have to be responsible, you can't do this. It was, I need to get out of this pain. I need to find a way to stop this pain in my heart. It's one of those things where you make a bad choice and then you can't come back from it. So hence I ended up back in a homeless hostel in Belfast. I found myself moving into a high tolerance, high dependency hostel. And I was trying, at the start I had no intention of staying clean. I was heartbroken, I'd lost my relationship, I'd ruined my life again. I'd went back to my old love of drugs and alcohol, because I didn't have to feel love, loss, regret, guilt, shame, remorse. It took all those feelings away from me. So I found myself in a high tolerance hostel with people who were in active addiction like myself, and it suited me for the first couple of weeks. And then I found myself back at meetings, I found myself back in recovery again and struggling to try and stay clean in that environment. I'd sort of left in quite a rush. It was just I needed to get away. My head was gone, I needed to be home. Got myself into the hostel, found myself sort of financially sort of broke, insecure, hadn't a penny, and the hostel had kind of seen me struggling and stuff, and it said to me, listen, we can refer you to a place called the StoreHouse. Hence we ended up in the StoreHouse, and sort of I'd been chatting to the boys on the way down, like, oh, what do they do, and kind of, well, like they told me, and you can get some food and stuff and clothes, and I needed clothes because I hadn't. It was basically I changed the clothes when I arrived home, and I was actually too proud to ask my family. I didn't want to go and run and so, oh, I've messed up again, or so I came down and availed of the help that StoreHouse had to offer, and it was great because I come in and it was, so you got a cup of coffee and got a biscuit, no. And then some people like may find that so trivial, but when you're in a hostel and you haven't eaten for a couple of days, you know, a biscuit and a cup of coffee and a warm welcome, it's sort of, it's weird how to describe it, but it's kind of priceless, because you're used to people sort of saying to you, oh no, not you again. But when you come, sort of that day when I come into StoreHouse, it was like, you want a cup of coffee? Do you want a biscuit? How are you, like? And a genuine, no, are you doing okay, like? And then it's sort of get chatting and sort of explain why I was kind of had my referral and stuff, and sort of somebody prayed with me, do you know what I mean? And it was nice, because it was like, it was a bit sort of strange, because it was like somebody giving time for me, like, and I wasn't feeling too hot about myself at the time, to be honest, like. So it was nice, because it was sort of like, it reaffirmed my faith in myself, that people do care. You can turn yourself around, you can sort of help, you can do something. So like, me and the boys, we got our food bags and we had a chatting away on the way up the road, and I was like, they're really dead on, and it's really helped. And then we sort of sat down and went, well, I have pasta, you have meat, and we all chipped in, and we sort of made a big pot of dinner for everybody that was in the sitting room in the hostel, like, not just the ones that attended StoreHouse that day. It was other people benefited from it too, that we knew that hadn't got anything and were maybe too proud to come to StoreHouse. So it was nice. Since sort of coming to StoreHouse, I've sort of managed to get myself back into recovery and kind of be doing okay. I managed to get myself a wee place out of the hostel. It's just a shared house. I mean, a room in a shared house, and it's all right. Do you know what I mean? It's a better environment for somebody who's trying to kind of stay clean and kind of sort of do well for myself. And I got myself a few part-time hours, and it's good, because it's making me feel that I'm part of society again, and not just kind of somebody who's tossing about the city centre. And I have an opportunity to be a father, not just somebody who kind of helped make my wee girl, like. I'm hopefully going to see her before Christmas, and it's going to be nice, because I'm going to be sort of suited and booted and whatever, and just take her out for a few hours, and if she wants a magazine, she'll get a magazine, or silly wee things. If she wants, like, if she sees something she likes, I'll be like, yeah, you can go get it. You know what I mean? There you are, like. Well, it's such a change from sort of counting your money and drinks. It's a completely different way of life. I'm enjoying it. I am enjoying it, and I'm sort of struggling to hold on to it as best I can. Like. Stay clean and help others, basically. It's kind of sort of help other people that are in my position, and give a wee bit back, because what was freely given to me, I shouldn't hold on to it. I should give it back, because I can. It's the right thing to do. So it's kind of, yes, if you're giving help, you should give something back. So even if it's a few hours of your time, whatever, if it's helping somebody, talking to somebody, say, dude, if I can do it, anybody can do it. And maybe try and give them that wee inspirational kind of gift, that wee boost to go, I'll give it a go.